Hey everybody, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Morning, Francois, Sergio, Alan, Valerie, Kevin, Jan, Sven, Svenborn. Probably didn't say that right at all, I'm sure. It's not a East Tennessee name. Donald, Arturo, good morning, everybody. Don, Ben, Rongimer, Gregory. I think Kimberly's sleeping. She's wore out. Anyway, Sledge, good morning. I think Goose is on an airplane. Flying down to Dallas Fort Worth, I think he said. Brian, good morning, good morning. And hey, somewhat positive morning. Did y'all see Bitcoin yet? Gotta pull Bitcoin up. Holy moly. Might it held a higher low. Could be a nested 1-2-1-2 setup. Pretty beautiful. 30K could be the next point where we slow down. Looks pretty nice so far. Looks pretty nice so far. Anyway, Pat, Maurizio, Al, Michael, good morning, everybody. If you want to chat with me like all these fine folks saying good morning, link is right over here. You just click the little green overlay button, become a subscriber to the channel, and a few seconds later, you can chat right on the live stream. That's all. That's the only requirement. It doesn't cost any money, no nothing. You can just chat with me. And that only works while I'm live, though. If I'm no longer live, you're going to have to leave a comment down below or come join me in Discord. But Discord does cost money. Link is in the description. It's $5 to get in there for like 3 months. Mary, good morning. David, Gigi, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been hiding? Good morning. Gigi. Glad to see you, Gigi. Um, and anyway, so remember, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Oh, left my doodad on. Cool. Here we go. Let's try this one more time. There we go. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance, not necessarily indicative of future results. I may never get this right again. Okay? I tend to get things right, but maybe, just maybe, I don't. Ever again. So this presentation here is intended to be informational, educational, fun, and entertaining. Hope I entertain you a little bit. If not, I'm sorry. But hopefully get your morning started, get you up to date on what's going on in the markets. Yeah, still alive. Glad to hear it, Gigi. I've been missing you. Like you were chatting with me a whole bunch and then you're gone. Don't be a stranger. Keep coming back. If you remember, this is not a recommendation to buy or sell anything. Financial instrument, not no stocks, no cryptos, no options, no futures, no forex, no nothing. All right. Don't buy that stuff. Don't sell it. Be careful. If you need personal financial advice, hire and consult a financial advisor. And wow, we have got some crypto moving. We've got a big week of earnings. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Some big names, heavy hitters in here. Tesla coming in, Netflix coming in. Rest of the banks all coming in here early this week. After the close today, got a slew of banks. First thing in the morning, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs. We got Pinnacle coming in. Interactive Brokers, that's a broker. Probably see a bunch of other brokers. Bank Corp in here. Discover Financial Services, Ally, NASDAQ Market Maker, First Horizon. That's a Tennessee bank right there. Got some transportation in here. United had Delta last week. We have Union Pacific in here. Got Regions Bank over here. American Express, American Airlines, CSX. We got some semiconductors. I mean, this thing between this week, next week, and the week after, we're going to be ramping up, getting most of the S&P 500 companies. So this is not the peak yet, but this is definitely going to be ramping up. Got some movers, Netflix and Tesla, big names this week, and we'll see what this brings. All right, it's going to definitely set the kind of the tenor of the market for the week as we proceed through these. All right. So this is going to be the driver this week, next week. This is the big driver is earnings. Got lots of earnings, and we'll see what gets cracking. I don't have any big expectations for anything. I think a lot of companies are going to keep beating. If your CEO is, if the CEO of the company is on top of things, then he's going to play the game. And they, the most efficient ones come make a guess, and it's under what they really think. On this earnings season, they'll make a guess for the next one. And it's just under what they think they'll do. That way, they kind of sandbag it, and then when they beat it, they're like, "Oh, look, we beat it, and it's awesome." And the stock price reacts positively. Some CEOs are honest about, like, they're just completely transparent, honestly. This is what we think we're gonna do, and then they throw out their optimistic number instead of knocking it down a peg. And then when they come in and they miss it, or they don't beat it by a healthy margin, then the market kind of punishes them. And you see this every single earnings season. Some CEOs are good at managing their stock price, some aren't. I mean, that's really, a CEO is a stock price manager. I mean, you can say they're in charge of the company, sure, but the big picture, their big job, the biggest job they have really, is to manage their share price. And if they don't believe that that's what they're doing, then usually the share price is what reflects that fact of the matter. Anyway, Rite Aid filing for bankruptcy. I think what was it, Walgreens? I was saying last week. It looks like it's going down the tubes, so we could definitely see some bankruptcies in the healthcare space. I don't know why drugstores aren't very profitable. It beats me. Anyway, so we have, let's look at this right here. Look, we came down. If anybody remembers, I drew in like an inverse head and shoulders thing last week, early in the week, and that's almost exactly what we've done at this point. Especially if we turn up here and break above the neckline, that could be the bottom. Like, this sucker could be done on this simplified chart right here, way up there, right into the resistance. We break up through the resistance, and it's game on for going higher. So this is a reversal pattern, very popular in the market. We can be done here. So watch out. Now, is there there's still potential, since we're below the key resistance, that we can go even lower. But things are looking pretty positive so far this morning. We'll see how this actually shapes up as we get into the open. Things are looking pretty good. ES up 22 points, NQ up 54, Russell even up 15. Looking pretty positive. And then there's that head and shoulders again on the S&P. Like the actual cash index, not moving yet. Won't be moving for about 7 more minutes. S5FI did a little dip. We could see a bigger dip. I don't know. That could be all the dip we get. It's not typical. Usually we see a secondary flush, but hey, the market echoes it. It rhymes. It doesn't do the exact same pattern every time. So it never has to do anything in particular. So here we are, 43.80. We do have that little resistance zone right there sitting. I mean, we parked right there Friday. It's kind of a resistance zone. We break above it. The kind of line up here, 44.65. That's a resistance. This prior high at this point is a resistance at this point, 44.2730-ish. We get above that, it's starting to look pretty good. And for that S&P 500 chart, flip back to that really quickly. Really, everything starts to change above 44. That gap fill, 44.01, 44.05, whatever the actual candle close was. Let's see. Candle close, well, it says the low was 44.01, close was 44.02. So we can start getting above 44.03 without just spike up and reject it. Then in any kind of continuation above that, we're probably going on up. Like, that's probably the end of this correction that we spent 2 months doing. All right. That's probably the most key level. You have set alert at 44.05 on your chart if you want to know, and that's the SPX number, not the futures ES number. That's 44.05. We start being above that, especially if we get a daily close above that. Game on. Like, we're probably going higher. All right. Now, one key chart that really demonstrated where we are right there. Look, SPY came down fully, tapped on that roadmap line a second time. We blast off from here. Perfect reversal type setup. So it came up a little high, a little shy in futures, but a lot of people trade SPY. Arguably much higher volume than any other S&P 500 instrument dollar-wise. So that could be it. On the SPX here, we did get really dang close. I think it's just splitting hairs whether we touched it or not. Looks like there's just the smallest little shade of color between the bottom of the candle. So SPX, the cash index, and SPY kind of in agreement mostly. That could be it. That could be the bottom, and we can be launching off from here. So is it for sure? Not until we get above 44.05. All right. Then it's like probably 90% sure that we're going on higher from here. NASDAQ needs to get back above that downtrend line. And it's that simple on NASDAQ. We get above that 15,550 kind of area right up in here. We're probably heading on up. Russell looking a little less awesome. It tried to go for an extension down here. Tried. It's got some work to do. There's not the level is going to be all the way up here at like 1800 before we're probably going on higher. So Russell's got some work to do. Not so sure on that one yet, but if we do form a healthy reversal, break up through 1800, we're probably going at least 2000, if not 21 or 2200, way up here. So this thing has the opportunity to seriously outperform both NASDAQ and S&P. So if you want to bet on an index that's going to outperform on the next rally, Russell, FB, IWM, small caps, they're probably going to do it. All right. The chart's definitely set up for it, but hadn't proved it yet. Hadn't proved the reversal. And we've got oil. I am long oil. That was a beautiful rally on Friday. Kind of resting a little bit. This is the point where if you want to add more to your position, you might consider it. As long as we don't just break back down today, this would be a good point. We're above the prior high. We rest here, and then we can do another one of these big launch days right there. So I'll consider adding another contract or two to my position. I'll think about it. I don't know. Gold popped up on Friday, retesting the roadmap line. Beautiful potential reversal. Still holding that downtrend, though. That's the only cautionary thing. We didn't break above that. We really need to get above this little orange box I drew over here, where it's this high and this high are both contained in there. And even a bit of this chop resistance over here. We start getting above that, odds are that we're probably going to be on the way up to 2,000, maybe even 2,200 on gold. So gold sounds a lot like Russell. Anyway, yeah, Bitcoin pushing through 28,000. Beautiful. Futures up about 1,100. The cash index not as looking pretty good there. Looks like a 1,700, 1,800. Cash index is rocking. There it goes. 29. That's real time, baby. That's Bitstamp. Let's see, BTC, USD. At Coinbase. Let's see if we're doing the same thing. Oh yeah, beautiful. So probably going to be rocking up to 30,000. So beautiful. That was a nested setup. I talked about it in the Crypto Power Plays update yesterday. Holding that higher low was potentially very positive. Very, very positive. And let's clear off some fibs and draw a potential target here. Oh, sound like the market just opened. I just got a bunch of alerts. Yep, there's the market. And so this right here, right there. That puts us up right in this 29 to, 29.8 to 30,000 right there. This zone. Of course, we can extend way on up here, even up to 32 at this point. So there you go. Mara's going to catch up if just give it a few minutes. Ethereum not participating to the level that Bitcoin is yet. So we'll see what happens on that one. Dollar came back up to that resistance level. If it holds that higher low, we're probably going to accelerate down. I mean, the lower high, excuse me. Reverse, strike that, reverse it, as Willy Wonka says. That lower high, we hold that. Get any kind of continuation below this low, we're probably coming on down to the roadmap line, if not lower. All right, what's moving today? What's moving and shaking? Lulu, beautiful pop. Targets 414 and 424. Beautiful, beautiful. Not even earnings or anything, just a beautiful giant pop. MSTR. The story that goes with Lulu is that all these people on GLP-1 drugs are going to be looking at fitness and buying new clothes, and Lulu stands to benefit, along with a lot of the other apparel companies that, fitnessy kind of apparel, where you want to show off your brand new duds as you lose all this weight. So that's the story. Something's going to replace ATVI. It could be Lulu, it could be TTD, it could be Dell, it could be lots of things. Whatever it is, stands to rally strongly. So Microsoft and the ATVI, MSFT and ATVI deal pretty much going through. We'll see what actually replaces ATVI to fill out the Lulu was added. All right. There you go. But that's the story. So you can say it's added, but the story going on behind it is that GLP-1 drugs are causing weight loss and people are going to buy clothes. And that's the ongoing story in the mainstream media. Breaking above, 414, 424, and then we have the much bigger correction. Clear this up and leave that one on. We run this fib high to low. We're just now clearing the 618. This sets this up 550, possibly 631. On the bigger picture, weekly, we're talking about months worth of time frame here. Weekly chart. This has been working on breaking out here for a while. This took, let's see, how long did this one take? This took, thank you, toolbar. A little over 6 months on that one. So this take 3 to 5 times longer. So like 3 years to get up here, potentially. Yeah, hard to believe. I don't trade Lulu because me and Lulu don't get along. I tend to burn my fingers on the hot stove every time I try to trade this. So I just don't mess with it. MSTR showing a nice pop so far. Mara probably not chooching so far, but potential for it to start ramping up here. Riot, all these Bitcoin miners are probably going to get going if Bitcoin doesn't just reject that spike. So BTBT, HUT, be careful on this one. It's in a merger acquisition deal, and they're going to do a reverse split, some kind of weird ratio reverse split to balance their shares with the merger company. So be careful on that one. But MSTR looking like it can get going here, and the Bitcoin spot ETF. I mean, not spot. Bitcoin futures ETF. Nice giant pop there. Getting a little retrace. Are we giving up a little bit of the gain on Bitcoin? No, not yet. It is on the, we're seeing a little bit in the spot market. That could be that 29.5. That can be the top for now. We could retrace, before we get the next extension. Of course, we could go much higher, much higher, much higher. It depends on which spot chart you pull up. That's the curious thing about Bitcoin for a lot of people is that depending on which exchange you pull up, you can get different prices. There is no centralized price control. Like there's no clearinghouse. There's nothing that unifies all the prices. So when you pull this up and you see all these different data sources, all of these are going to have different prices for Bitcoin. All right. Like every one of them. And there's no, I mean, it's unregulated. There's no centralized anything. So the price you see on whichever exchange it is, you're just going to have to roll with it and do your work that way. So that's why if I pull up a different chart, it may have a different price, may have a different fib. Don't get confused. Each of these is an independent island. All right. There are people that arbitrate between the islands, but you may see a different price depending on the specific supply and demand of Bitcoin at each of these different places. Forex works a lot the same. There is no centralized Forex clearing place, though people arbitrate between the different brokers of Forex. So crypto works a lot the same in that way. There is no institutional exchange. I mean, you can say Coinbase is the one, but Binance is much bigger than Coinbase is, and that's why I typically jump to Coinbase to kind of get the price, but Binance is actually a bigger exchange. You see it coming back down, and people arbitrate between the exchanges, so they try to balance the prices. There's no centralized anything, so there is no official price of Bitcoin. I use the futures because that one is regulated. But it's based on a delivery of Bitcoin at a future date and a future time and a future place. So there will be discrepancies between the futures market and the spot market, similar to gold. All right, moving on down the list here. I wonder what that was. Typed that one in wrong. And MLTX got a firm cap on it up here, kind of almost a firm bottom on it too. So just in a sideways chug here for a couple months. I kind of expect that to continue until we can break on out. ITCI, intercellular therapy. That's a pharmaceutical, biopharma. Be careful on that stuff. That looks like it's turning bearish. That was a bearish break, bearish hold. That's a market roadmap pattern. Probably is already coming up on the 618 extension back to the 100%. Could come back to the roadmap line before it does another extension down. That is a bearish potential so far. Hub has come back to the roadmap line. Highest high, lowest low. We've got resistance right there, which is right in the spot. We break above that 330, probably heading up to 350, 369. Watch out for it to hold. We could come on down and retest this consolidation down here. Could test that right there. ALB, looking for this thing to finally reverse, but that looks like we may get the continuation pattern down to here. Drew that. Gosh, I drew that last week. Already working on dropping on down. 139 could be the bottom. That ExxonMobil working with Albemarle to for the lithium play, but oil and gas a little more profitable right now. I don't know. We may not leave oil and gas for a long, long time. That looks like a floor. That looks like a ceiling. And we're stuck in between. I see nothing cooking there. I mean, prices up here, but it can easily drop right back down. So be careful on this. It is under $10. Under $10 stuff doesn't tend to follow the patterns as much, but it would not surprise me to retrace right back down and touch that box after popping up like that. Or even get right back down in the box. So be careful. It could be a buyout. I don't know. I don't keep track of all these that tightly. EOG. Right up to resistance. If we can break out, 140, 146. If we reject, coming right back to the roadmap line. There's coin. So far, not breaking out of the downtrend. Has this little bitty downtrend in here for the last 2 months. Needs to break above that, get above this. If it does, I have much loftier targets. Otherwise, it's just consolidating. Keeps on consolidating. Now you may be like, what might be the news on Bitcoin today? Well, the SEC, this came out Friday and Bitcoin didn't react, but the SEC decided they weren't going to go back after, they weren't going to file an appeal for GBTC. They're going to let them go ahead and convert to a spot ETF. That's why this one's popping. That news came out Friday and nothing reacted, so that was kind of weird. But it's reacting today. Bitcoin's reacting, and there's lots of speculation that they're just going to blanket approve almost all the spot ETFs all at the same time, even, not give anybody a head start, not give GBTC a head start, Grayscale, not give ARK, not give BlackRock. They'll just approve everybody. So we'll see if that happens. We're coming up on the next milestone of when they got to take action. VST, Vista Outdoors, ouch, big drop. That could be the retrace it needed. It's just been chopping in this same range for, feels like years. Nothing to do there. BNTX, BioNTech, that one keeps dropping. Next target down around 70. That was a rejection of the roadmap line. I drew these targets down here a while ago. Looks like 87 and then maybe 77, 75 down here. mRNA, that one. So the story I was seeing this weekend is that despite the government loving the vaccines, that they may actually ban mRNA vaccines. We'll see what happens. ALDX, ouch, all the way down here. Biotech, UVIX, that one leveraged, reverse split. Be careful on this stuff. Decaying assets. All right, when you look up a chart and it's something that's leveraged and it does this, that's a decaying asset, especially when they have reverse split after reverse split. Another one, this one, look, it's a decaying asset right there. Going to zero. Maybe like, well, I should have just sold it when it was 100, when it was like 4,000. Yeah, but guess what? It's only up that high because of the reverse splits in here. It was never that high. ENPH potentially working on a bottom here. Potentially. We'll see. We need to be back above the roadmap line before I get positive on that one. Walmart crossing 161.25. There's my alert. Let's go look at that real quick. Yeah, that's a positive. That's a market roadmap bounce right there. Might be the chart of the week. That's a potential entry. 169, 174. Beautiful. Beautiful. Back to TTD. Back to the roadmap line. Potentially oil. Just chopping along. Ultra, that's a leveraged natural gas. UNG. Looked like it was going to break out and then died. Go, chart, go. There we go. Now, I wasn't very swayed by that potential right there. Thought we'd at least come back to the roadmap line and find out what we do. If we break back into this box, we're probably coming all the way back down to the bottom. So be careful. Tame your expectations for natural gas. Like, it does not have to ramp into the winter. It does not. All right. It typically does. It does not have to. Manchester United. Looks like that's going to go on a move down. That's corrective. Got support right here around 16 and 1487 below that. May come fill this gap in there. And SRTY. Ultra short Russell. Watch for that one to drop. So my Russell day trade, not sure that one's going to play out today. We'll see. Keep you informed if you're an OBA member. All right, bias for the day. Cautious until we get above 44.01. That's the big line in the sand at this point. This can just be a relief rally and we can drop on down. I need it to be above 44.0, like I said, that alert at 44.05. I need it to be above that 44.01, 44.02 area, above this orange box right here, above that gap fill. Then we're looking up. Until then, just sideways consolidation crap in here, with the potential to make a lower low than we made right back here on October 3rd. All right, any questions? You can come ask them in Discord if you got them. Otherwise, we'll leave you to it. Good luck out there. Stay safe. The account you save may be your own. Lead Bitcoin rocking it, baby. 3,000. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Keep going, baby. Keep going. Yeah, make sure you hit the like, subscribe. If I said anything that you like, give me a thumbs up. Interact, share with somebody you know. And I'll see you again tomorrow.